Okay, hello. Hello. One more time before the holidays, let's play Galaxy Princess Zorana. Might be a little bit shorter of a stream than yesterday, but still something. Let's see if the comment picker works this time around. Okay, there we go. This time it works. Hello, hello. Nice to see you. So, let's just get right to the game. Get on my place. No time to waste. Load game. So last time we saw the furries and we saw the green potato aliens, and then we saw the bird aliens. So a lot of stuff last time. No deaths though, surprisingly, but maybe today. Who knows? Let me get here or something. Okay. I'm a bit worried about the political campaign in game, but well, if we don't win, then we won't. We have received another update from the medical experts handling the Hero Tree outbreak. The treatment has proved unusually effective. Symptoms reverse and leave no trace. Cure rate is extremely high. Okay, well that's good. Gamepad work. That's good, right? Oh, surely that's good. It could also be like there is something else going on, who knows? It would seem so. Or surely like the medical experts are there, so they should inform us if it's not good. Okay. Yeah, one thing I was thinking is that I want to change the outfits. Because the interaction skills are good anyway. And it seems that the emotion skills are used for buttering up the voters basically. They want maybe this if they will increase. Okay, they did. When we have this and then we put on the bonus outfit, we should have 90 or something. Assume that's how it works. You sit in your room checking the latest feeds. Recordings from the Agonaglia rites on Ketro, so Lugamer standing tall and proud in the front ranks of the High Pontifex lifts the sacrificial bird. Hopefully it's not none of these bird people. That position would have been yours if you'd been there. Yeah, but I forgot. Can you change it at any time? Golden Empress bow, I guess. It should give... yeah, it gives bonus. We have 90. That should help. I think. Like, these are good regardless, so I think this is the plan. But these two at least seem to like us. This one is a little bit of a question mark. Hello, hello. I did myself a hotkey, so this time it's way easier to pick up the chat messages. Did that in addition to the lizard, though a little bit later than the lizard, like one stream later. I would have had it last time, but I broke the comment picker. But actually the comment picker was broken, but it was double broken, so it was working. The weird things of coding things. Now there's the question, do we want to like flirt with her? She seemed to be interested, but to be honest, the like super green color weirds me out a little bit. No offense to anybody who is this green though. Ozara would be like Ozara looks more interesting, but like, well, I guess it's also the bald thing combined with the green thing. Like she kinda has hair, so she looks nice. Like weird, like lizard, plant-like look. Or like maybe her personality is nice, who knows? That will make up for it. Which order do we want to do this? I kinda want to do the background check too, just to make sure she's not a weirdo. Investigate background. Jade, Elector, or CI? Jade is the clone child of the previous Elector, and her upbringing was dedicated to replacing her mother at the heart of the family business. She is well educated and a shrewd negotiator, often underestimated in the boardroom. Okay, that's kinda nice to know, I guess. Jade was married to an older man, but he died within the past film from an accidental drug overdose. The death was well documented and not considered suspicious. They had no children. Well, I guess she's bi then. Since her husband's death, Jade has developed a reputation for wildness. She has often been seen intoxicated in public. She dismissed her entire harem and has been rebuilding it with only perfectly matched set of twins. She has been banned from warriors clubs for inappropriate behavior. I'm not into this harem thing though, so I don't know. Doesn't seem that great. Jade has also been linked to an extensive array of temporary sexual partners, including by rumor the husband of Elector Zorana. That might cause a scandal if the story came out. I don't know if I want to blackmail her though. I don't like blackmail. I think the background check based on what we have seen is only related to blackmail. It is also like extra lore though. Well, I would assume that. But depending on whether she knows. If she knows, then these two are definitely enemies. But no idea. She seemed nice. Private conversation with Zorana. What will you offer me in exchange for my vote? What are you asking for? Oh, nothing much at all. Nothing very specific, nothing bad. As it sounds like she wants something. I want you to join me and my husband for a friendly little game. As long as we don't need to win. Like we are a dummy who can only do social things. Is that innuendo? I don't think so, it's just board games surely. A game of strategy and diplomacy, of careful planning and cooperation, and betrayal, but of course, that would never happen. What was the name of the game? I guess it could be just diplomacy, I'm not sure. Or it's something like that anyway. You have countries and then you negotiate with the neighbors and then betray them and conquer them with your army, like that kind of game, I guess. Telos, though it's more of a childish giggle. If you win, I'll bet you my vote. You'll have earned it. If you lose, then you'll have to play again. Okay, well that's a problem because we are a big dummy. How do I play this game? Oh, we'll teach you the rules. You'll figure it out. Practice helps. Call us anytime to arrange a game. It is definitely like save first. Well, at least there's an offer on the table. We kind of want this, but it might be difficult. No idea though if the other guy is any better in board games. Oh yeah, I guess if you hated me, you wouldn't want to play board games with me. Game of negotiation. So it could be that our skills fit this though. We do have like the social part of the skills, like the logic part of board games. Not so much. I guess we'll just try it out. Oh, by the way, Hanaka Gamers like posted on Reddit, and we'll link on Mastodon to like a kind of a post-mortem, I guess, like what happened during the development of this game, and like after the release, like 1 month after the release. It was pretty interesting. I always thought that Hanaka was like a bigger developer, but it's basically just 2 people and then subcontractors. I took like 4 years or something to make this, which doesn't surprise me that much, but a little. Okay, let's try the personal quest. You contact Zorana and her husband Malachi. Arrange to play their game. Once you have your schedules worked out, you take a flyer over to Klambal. In the gaming room, a large painted board is laid out in front of you, decorated with stars and planets, and galactic shipping lines. Fictional ones, of course. But you have like a huge room, like reminds me of like Martian anime or something. Apparently, the game requires at least 6 players, so the elector has invited friends to fill out the board. You believe you met them briefly at the reception, but you certainly don't know them well. An unfair disadvantage. The name of the game is Galactic Statesmanship. Every player is assigned a starting planet and some resources, including military ones. Beyond that, you will need to capture supply centers and use actions to build your force. And this definitely reminds me of something I have played. At the end of a turn, you must spend resources to keep your forces supplied, or you lose them. If you run out of resources, you are out of a game. Beginning of each turn, you negotiate with other players, publicly or privately, to decide what actions you want to take. You can form any alliances you like for the greater good. Then you secretly write down what actions you will actually carry out. You don't have to do anything that you promised that you would. But if you betray your allies, they won't trust you later. There are no dice, no random chance. It all comes down to the actions you choose and how much support you have in its location. So you have to think step ahead of all the other players in order to win. You can either try to work with allies until you find a good time to betray them, or you can work alone, hope no one pays attention to you. But surely that's not going to work. Make allies. We are surely good at that. The game is best played by working with others. The dynamic you establish from the start will have a major impact on how the strategies unfold. Do you want to position yourself as leader, someone others should follow? That will make it easier to manipulate players into taking actions that benefit you in the long run, but leaders always draw fire. Would you want to be seen as a loyal follower? That makes it easier for people to underestimate you and be surprised when you finally turn on them, but you may have to weaken yourself in order to keep their trust. No idea. This is difficult again. I think we kinda had the social skills to try the leader thing. But like we don't have like warfare skills or anything. So we might fail because of that. We could try this, I guess. I think they are both going to fail though. With empathy. Well, we have that too. You choose the friendliest looking player near your sector. Propose an alliance with him, letting him take the lead in planning out your next moves. Once he suggested maneuvers, of course, it's up to you whether you follow his orders. Well, I don't know, we have no military knowledge, so can't be hoped. You follow the plan. After a few turns, you have increased the power as well as the power of your allies. There are now several of you working together. Of course, at some point, you are going to have to break away from the pack. Is this the right time? You are pretty sure that your allies trust you to follow orders, but you don't know whether or not they are planning to get rid of you yet. Well, we have no military, so there's probably just no way to win this at all. Dutifully, you follow the plan, entering into combat alongside your allies, sacrificing some of your troops for the greater good. All of you took some damage, but because you work together, your enemies are much worse off, though not yet defeated. Your team confers and comes up with a battle plan for the next turn which, if it works, should see your rivals completely wiped out. It's hard to tell how much your allies trust you right now, or how much you can trust them. The further you get into the game, the more inevitable betrayal becomes. Tension is high. If you're going to turn traitor, you need to be very careful not to show any signs of it. Or would it be better to wait and lull them into false confidence? Now, we have a little bit of deception, but I don't know. You push forward, scattering your enemies before you. You lose a few ships, but your opposition is completely crushed. It's a mighty victory. Unfortunately, that victory is short-lived. On the next turn, you are attacked by a pair of your former allies and wiped off the board. Welp. Probably hard to win it. I think it's better to just load. I wonder if it is always the same. Although, we'll leave it for later. Let's just try to negotiate. There's also the possibility of doing this, but I don't know if we need to do it. Conversation with Jade. sighs, lifting a hand to stare at her nails. I don't see any reason to make promises. I haven't made up my mind. Why should I? I'm not particularly invested in this election. I have no reason to care. You're to care. This election affects the entire empire. Whomsoever happens to win this little contest and claim the grand celestial throne, I doubt they'll be coming back to this sector for the next 3 films. She might be right about that. I'll make up my mind when it suits me, not before. Nope. Okay, this is neutral. Let's try the charm thingy. Jade as before is impeccably poised and dressed for display. Dangling from her choker is a swirling crystal pendant that draws the eye down her body. She radiates the impression of worldly knowledge and experience, everything that you don't have. For all of that, her eyes are fixed on you. You can sense her interest and know that it gives you power over her. In fact, the haughtier you act, the more excited she looks. You know, I could have you whipped for staring at me like that. It's my palace. No one would stop me. Her cheeks take a hint of lavender. Have me whipped. You wouldn't do it yourself. Is that what she wants? You may have called her just to flirt, but if you push a little harder, it's possible that you could take her both right here, right now. What is that playing with fire? I don't know, we'll just do it right. It's better than blackmailing. I would only punish you myself if there were something of value I wanted from you, such as your promise to vote for me in the election. Oh. She pressed her fingers to her lips, chuckling to herself. Well, if you want to play that sort of game, why don't we make a little vaguer? You want me to vote for you? I'll give you a chance to make me. If I scream, you win. If I don't, teeth flash in a shark's grin. You give me your father's diamond falcon ring. That's an imperial treasure. I don't know, it's better though. Like if she still votes, it's fine. If you're afraid you'll lose, don't play. We can always load game too. If diamonds are all you want, you could just offer a trade. And what fun would that be? She blows you a kiss. Call me or don't. How did you lose control of this situation? You now have a possible method to win her vote. Do you really want to get involved with that? Leaning positive. Well, I guess it at least worked. Personal persuasion. This is one of the starting area, guys. Back to social, I guess. Well, we are staying here because we still have no votes here. Your Imperial Highness, I have heard from the Heavenly Palace's Science Department that there is discussion among the medical community of the possibility about the source of our plague outbreak. Rumor suggests the possibility that the contagion may actually have been some manner of biological weapon. opinion seems torn on whether it was an accidental escape from a government research lab or a deliberate test on the population. But this is very much like the COVID conspiracy theories, I guess. But we didn't make a plague, did we? I am not aware of any bioweapons research that would have produced these results. Certainly, there was no official government order to perform such a test. However, the father did pursue many strange and secretive projects. We know the father was a little bit of a jerk, so I guess it is a possibility. Was the plague so easy to cure because someone already had a secret antidote? Do you wish to issue an official response? We can probably do any of these, hopefully. The media one is probably the least likely. Let's try this. We need to reassure the people. I'll write up a statement explaining that the disease was a natural occurrence and is now completely under control. Very well. I guess empathy would help with the board game quest at least. But deception would also help. That was definitely needed. I don't think we want military, it's going to take way too long to get that. No special benefits from them, but hopefully they'll come handy. Let me hydrate you. It's not hot drinks. You check your messages to see what happened with those biological weapon rumors. Your calm explanation that disease was not a weapon, just a mutation easily defeated by the skills of Imperial scientists seems to have gone some way towards calming worries. Of course, there will always be a few rumors. The social skills definitely seem to come handy. I guess let's save again. Alright, let's try this, I guess. Personal quest. Elector Jade has challenged you to a most unusual contest. You can make her scream, then she will acknowledge your authority over her and pledge her loyalty to you, guaranteeing her vote in the election. If you can't, then you'll have to admit defeat and give her one of your father's treasures. For that reason, you have only one chance at this. If you fail, you can't try again. I didn't set any parameters on exactly what you could do to her in order to make her scream, though it sounds like she's expecting a certain degree of torture. It's an unusual request, but there's a history within your culture of admiring both ruthlessness and resistance. But that's probably not exactly going the right direction. Just that an emperor is expected to be capable of cruelty, and a noble is expected to be able to suffer pain without flinching. idealized heroes die stoically rather than betray the Empire. Yeah, but that's mostly because your dad was a jerk, and this is a little bit of a different matter, I think. Actually killing an elector would be counterproductive though, so you can't simply stop her. There are more delicate methods of applying pain without causing lasting injury, but you need to be very careful and sure of what you're doing. Purely frightening her into screaming should also work, though it's tricky to scare someone who is expecting you to try something. Surely just like whipping that will work. In the end, what it comes down to is exerting your will over hers. If you convince her to submit, she can acknowledge your victory at any point. Still, there are so many ways this could go wrong. Are you sure you want to do this? Well, it is for content as long as it doesn't get too yikes for YouTube. Let's do it. You send a message inviting Jade to meet you in the Heavenly Palace. Before she arrives, you need to make sure your preparations are in place. What approach have you chosen? How do you intend to make her scream? We have none of these. Well, that is anything. Like are these actual skills? Past skills. Probably stats. I don't think change is exactly a skill. Or pressure points. I don't know, she wanted whipping, no, not sure if it will make her scream, but she wanted that. Plan scheduled, you greet the elector when she arrives in the hangar. Please follow me to the arena. Arena, I didn't know you were planning a combat. I'm not, but I do need a lot of room. She looks intrigued and follows you. Inside one of the open training areas, you have had a large pole set up with manacles on each side. Yeah, this did take a turn. So I could kinda see it coming. Please place your hands in the restraints. To be set free, all you have to do is scream. Now this is more like it. It's worrying that she seems eager. Well, I don't think so. That's kinda the point, I think. But all I fail. Chain is a skill. How? How is it a skill? Oh, it is combat skill. Okay, well, I guess we are failing it then. Is pressure points also like some kind of skill then? Is body control? Okay, this is annoying. There's just no way we can do this then. You strap her into place and go to fetch a length of rope. You don't have enough experience with chains to try swinging one of those around a helpless target. Ropes are used for beginner practice, so they should be safe, right? First you whirl the rope around your head a little, listening to it swish through the air. The sound excites you, but Jade doesn't react at all. Maybe it's not loud enough. You cross in front of her, just to be sure she can see what you're doing. Build an anticipation. Her eyes flick up to the rope, mildly surprised, perhaps apprehensive. Maybe you're better at this than you thought, but I don't think so. Yet you continue to circle around her and then swing your rope to smack across her back. Unfortunately, your lack of experience with swinging weapons makes it hard to judge exactly how to place a strike. Your first blow wouldn't even qualify as a gentle slap, and your second one fails to connect at all. And that's not great. This really isn't working out. Finally impressed, you admit defeat and release Jade from her shackles, handing over your father's diamond ring. Despite her trump, Jade looks mildly disappointed. No wonder. Since that her feelings toward you are neutral, well, that was a fail. Well, load then. Everything is super difficult. How about this guy? Let's just negotiate, I guess. See what happens. With rippling eternity. Winter has always been a difficult time in the northern steppes. Prey animals find food scarce in the cold. Many hide themselves away to sleep. Others take in unprotected coloration to hide. What does this have to do with anything? When prey become difficult to find, this brings a perilous choice for hunters. Should they work together and increase the chances that one of the group might find some scrap of food, and yet divided among many? The scrap might as well be nothing, and then there would be no benefit. If we each works alone, the most will be unsuccessful, but the one who has the greatest luck could receive a full meal. The obvious compromise is to work in small bands, 3 to 5 being the most common numbers, or young and unmated hunters who have no offspring to care for. As it happened, a group of 3 friends on a hunt together had the great fortune to encounter the tracks of a jar which must have ventured out of hibernation. Oh yeah, this person liked to talk. By the size of the paw prints, it was an enormous beast, more than enough to feed all 3 hunters and leave meat left over. Even a young solo hunter, family and friends beyond itself. Should the extra be shared? If so, with whom and how much? Or should the hunters keep it stored for themselves? Did each of them deserve the same share? Or should an extra portion be granted to the one who first spotted the tracks, or the one who would strike the fatal blow? After much debate and discussion, the 3 friends at last arrived at a sensible agreement that pleased all parties. With their future arranged, they set out to slaughter the jar. Alas, when they followed the footprints to the end, they found no animal, and all of their plannings was wasted. Might they have caught the beast if they had acted more swiftly, or was there never any jar there to begin with? The point of rippling eternity story is not entirely clear. There is one truth you can take from it though: the future is never certain, and well-made plans may fall apart when faced with reality. I guess he's saying that, well, they are saying that it's unsure whether it's smart to vote. Perhaps you cannot be sure, but sort of Empress I will be until the moment arrives. But that is why I am here to negotiate, to see what I can do for you now rather than in the future. Everyone wants something in politics. What can I do that would make a difference and show you that I am the best candidate to lead the empire? The elderly hero is silent for a moment. Imperial Committee is a marvelous masterpiece of cooperation and diplomacy. The disparate voices from across the empire can all have input on the governance as a whole. The College of Electors guarantees that all citizens of the empire are connected to their future ruler through the electors' vote. That is what brings you here. However, not all populations are equally represented. A private mining operation or a single research station has the same electoral vote as an entire planet, but a tiny fraction of the population. Is this like political commentary about real life? Is this a sign of rivalry with other electors in the sector? Freelat may have a slightly larger population than Sioi or Klambal, but just as little significance to the Empire as a whole. There are political and historical reasons why the College of Electors was designed this way, the way it was. No one's going to abolish it now. I don't seek to have it abolished, only to place a feather upon the scales. Hero Prime is the only ancestral homeworld with only 2 electoral votes. That's debatable. All-Seeing Eye is meant to be autonomous rather than a third elector for Mau Prime. This is only a technicality, however. They are obviously quite closely aligned. Let me hydrate. It's really long-winded and I'm not sure like. It would be nice, I guess, to just promise that you will get another seat, but then the others will be upset. To redress the balance with honor of my people, this is my request: grant the third electoral position to Hero Prime. That's not something I have the power to do right now. No skill that you can learn would allow you to single-handedly change the structure of government, not while you're only the heir to the throne. After all, if a candidate could pick and choose the electors, that would make this entire process a lot simpler for you, as long as you were the one doing the picking. But anyway, it isn't allowed. Emperor Princess cannot. The Empress, however, could issue a decree. For this benefit, there must be guarantees. Will you publicly commit to seeking a third electoral seat, Hero Prime? That would certainly win approval from the hero, but the rest of the Empire might object. A public commitment requires an official proclamation. All the electors will know about your statement and all of them will judge you for it. This is difficult again. You think that a private promise would be binding too? Public, it will make things difficult for sure. But I don't know if private is enough. I did want a public announcement about it. No idea like how much it will affect things, if it will actually like upset like all the other factions, then it's really yikes. I know you want me to make a public pledge, however, if I do that, it will hurt my chances of winning the election, which would make that pledge worthless in the end. We can send papers privately so that we made this agreement. I can have them imperially sealed. You'd have proof of your claim, then once I'm impressed, we can announce. An agreement is not an action. I will not bargain for a share in a future that may never come. Well, the other future won't come either. That's a little unfair, isn't it? Agreeing to vote for you in the election is also a promise for the future. There would be consequences for breaking such a promise, but it's theoretically possible. Rippling Eternity expects you to trust its promises, but won't trust yours in return. No bug is not then. Every choice has costs. You need to weigh them carefully. I'm sorry, but I can't make that pledge right now. That is your decision, as you might expect. That also means that I cannot at this point pledge my loyalty to you. At least now you have some idea what the price of Rippling Eternity's loyalty would be. Leaning positive, hope. That is difficult. In the end, none of this will work. What is the skill situation? Can we even... I don't know, like, if empathy is enough to help. With the board game quest. You're like operations part of the torture quest, like then we could get these from training. I wonder how much chain you need to do the torture quest. This is basically hopeless. I could try to charm and flatter, but it seems unlikely it will work. Well, let's try, I guess. But maybe it doesn't help because they want the deal anyway. How fascinating is the universe that a stone, shaped by natural processes or billions of cycles, can come to light and bring so much pleasure to the eyes of those that find it. Is the Elector calling you a jewel? Well, I guess it didn't change anything in the end. Should we just retry the board game thing? I wonder if it works the same every time. Seems pretty same at least. I think we want to do the same, but basically betray at some point. But I think this basically worked though. It seemed fine until this point at least. Well, we have no military though, so we can't help but try to continue and then betray at the last moment. At this point, you look innocently cooperative while you jot down your moves for the round and submit the orders. Everyone is appropriately shocked when you suddenly backstab your nearest ally, completely wiping out his faction and seizing his resources. After that, it's a desperately tense battle. You have got hunger and momentum and you're fighting to win. It's close, but in the end, you are the last player standing. Well played, you have earned my vote. Yay, we actually did it. I do hope you'll come and give us another game sometime. Maybe after the election. You are, after all, very busy at the moment. Okay, well that worked. That worked just barely. Let's save it here. We have a ton of save slots after all. Okay. Well, now the question is like, how can we make this work? I guess we could just like, whoa, give the bird like a seat in the council, but I don't really want to do it. I guess you can't get the computer lessons anymore either. But does like benefit combat? Daredevil and bold. But I doubt 30 is enough. Too bad like menace. Well, I guess it helped with one of the checks, but it's not enough. I guess you can only use the skill ones to improve the opinion. We have like one from here, so that's really bad. Like this will be a slight victory. Like this will be a loss and this is a huge loss. But there is a chance, I guess, they will support us, but I don't know if you need to officially get the votes. Draug only has 2. Ideally we would have to get a lot of votes from this system. But I guess we can ignore the situation for now and get like skills that will help. Like get chain skills. But that's basically the plan, I guess. Like we need to do these 2. I guess it's fine even if the bird doesn't vote us. But getting the green lady's vote would be nice. I don't want to blackmail. I could blackmail, but I don't want to. Also, I got the theory that the blackmail will ultimately, like, you will... Well, they will send assassins after you. Because, well, obviously nobody likes being blackmailed. But there is this option too, but I don't want that either. I want something who is less into the harm thing. There's a denounce thing too, but I guess we can explore the social network. Just see how it works. Water Lorcas, 1 bite. And Chapadak. Like these are fine if these get angry, it doesn't matter. These I don't know yet, haven't met them. Toilet Smau and Oberod Targus 1 are enemies. But denouncing might be a plan, I guess. But the thing is, like Zorana thinks like the point is torture, but the point is not torture. The point is like more like grown up affairs, I guess. And the reason why it didn't work was because we were bad at using the whip. But we were thinking that like she has probably gotten that kind of treatment quite a bit, like how much whipping skill do you actually need to make it work? It's a possibility, but also because the bird doesn't hate us, like do we need to do it? Guess we can just leave it be for now. Alright, so how do we get useful skills? Arts emotion, direction emotion. It's probably really difficult to get useful skills. But this was one. This was one, so combat and body control would be good. I think operations might have been one too, but I'm not sure. At least none of the others ring the bell. In like content sense, I guess it would be nice to learn this. But I think the chain is what she actually wants. Like otherwise she wouldn't have gotten that excited about the whole deal anyway. I guess we could just like put like all the points on chain, but we can only get 50 anyway. Maybe there's a possibility that we need to fight at some point. Like it might not be totally useless, but it could be in the end. So this is just like combat is here. It is possible to get there. Like this is not minus the combat. This might like well interaction is no go, but we have good interaction anyway. So maybe this is actually the plan, like to go here and then. Or this plus the combat Q, so bounce between these two and get combat skills. Yeah, we'll do that, I guess. Excited. Alright, let's go to Hero 2 then. This will wait. Hopefully. Your Imperial Highness, some more pleasant business today. I haven't had too much of that. On turn 27th, Heavenly Palace will be hosting a performance of Heart of Ice by the Asgoldian State Opera Company. Opera. Emperor Dragasen was quite the aficionado. This gala performance has been in planning for half a film. He never talked to you about music, he never talked to you about much of anything. Because this work was one of his favorites and this performance was arranged specifically for him, many past members will treat it as an unofficial memorial. You will have the opportunity to give a speech. Well, I guess media skills would come handy actually. Another chance to make a good impression. You don't have much time to prepare. Well, we could just take media skills for now. Or it is either rhetoric or media, I guess. It's turn 28. I guess it's probably safe to change at this point already. Like surely it's rhetoric and media that affects it. So if we get media at this point, like 2 points, then the next turn will be good for combat skills. And then we'll take chain. That's the plan, I guess. Oh yeah, there was also this survey thing, which might come handy too. Hero system is the most expansive of any of the Empire, and great swaths of it remain largely undeveloped. The sector contains no habitable worlds at all, no frontier colonists, no casual visitors, no society. Many maps would not even detail the area. But the sector is not entirely empty. There are planets to be found beyond this warp gate, therefore Imperial territory is to be upheld. The largest planet is the gas giant Panhei. The name in some Hero dialect translates roughly as circular portal, referring to Panhei's brightly gleaming rings. 2 moons circle in constant opposition, Stewie and Poissy. Also called dawn and dusk, each moon contains a small settlement and therefore entitlement to an elector. Fail. The other planet in this sector is tiny barren Vijab. It has no appreciable atmosphere to warm its surface. It is as cold as the depths of space. The surface is covered over with mountains and craters and monoxide ice. Even if it melted, breathing the gas would kill you. There is no seed of life here. Nonetheless, the planet has been claimed and parceled out to various business enterprises. The ownership is displayed across the surface by small stations and large banners, marking this benighted outpost as a genuine holding of the empire. It depends on what counts as genuine, like it sounds pretty small. The long-term population of Vijab is generally limited to caretakers and maintenance engineers. Kdara, the elector, certainly does not live there herself. She has been traveling in her personal cruiser to reach the Heavenly Palace for this event. We're probably not one of the bird people because they had no gender. This is the first occasion in which the Heavenly Palace has visited the sector within your lifetime, if not longer. Despite that, the guest list is small and the gathering sedate. Other than Kadars and tourists, all attendees hail from the moons of Panhe. Most of them are heroes. You are aware that the official elector of Panhe Stue is a hero child, much younger than you, but you can't spot anyone that small in attendance. The regency is jointly held by the child's adoptive parents, whom you have never met. I never met the other electors either, but they are much easier to locate. Tara, especially, has been in frequent contact with the palace teams to arrange her ship's rendezvous. And here she comes now. Oh, it's the planty-liking lizard person. Your Imperial Highness, here you are in the back of the beyond for some reason. While this might count as some sign of making an effort, it might also demonstrate a piss-poor grasp of strategy. The language isn't just rude, it's so overtly inappropriate that it can only be a deliberate message. She's signaling that she doesn't care about the rules of polite behavior. She reacts better to a blunt response, cutting right to the point rather than dancing around being nice. Well, I wonder if these plant lizards are all the same because the other one was too. However, allowing her to talk to you like that will affect how others see both of you. People may believe that you are close friends or that she is too politically powerful for you to challenge. This sector's total population is a rounding error for the Empire. Why did you bother? Provide reason that flatters her. Demand that she shows you respect. Have like a little bit of menace, I guess. Like this is to the point in a way, I guess. I think we could succeed in all of these, but let's try this. Kadar seems like someone who will find your opinion more sincere if you don't mince words about it. What matters right now is winning the election. It's not about the size of the population, it's about the number of territories, the number of electors, the votes. In the full Comitia, the sector may be beneath notice, but in the College of Electors specifically, it holds more influence than the hero homeworld. So you'll court us now and forget us later. You don't know what the future will hold. But isn't that all the more reason for you to take advantage of the opportunity while it lasts? In this moment, your tiny world holds power that may never have again. This is the time to negotiate. Well said. I look forward to speaking with you in more detail privately. He nods to you and steps aside. but still negative. You're not alone for long before another young woman makes her appearance. One of the green people. Hello, Your Highness. It's good to see you again. We had never been formally introduced, of course, but I was lucky enough to win a ticket to an imperial premiere once, and you were one of the black carpet guests, so I saw you there. Oh, what's so? Dragonflucht. It was the first live-action adaptation of the popular comic strip. The premiere was a huge event. Passionate fans flocked in from all across the empire just to have costume parties in the streets if they could get in the show itself. All across the empire, including apparently here too, the moons of Panheim. Chapadok had to travel all the way to Kedro. And that was half a film ago too. She's not that much older than you. Would she even have been an adult at the time? You're not sure you could have managed to arrange a trip halfway across the empire just to attend the show. At least not until you became the heir. Must be quite a fan. Well, it is a pleasure to meet you properly. May I introduce my spouse, Bright Blue Shell. She brings forward a hero who appears, like Chapadok, to be in young adulthood. Despite the name, it is not wearing anything of a bright blue. Bright Blue Shell greets you quietly and withdraws, apparently preferring to leave politics to its spouse. That's nothing personal, it's just shy. Please accept my condolences about your father. Thank you. After Kadara's provocations, it is a relief to talk to someone so friendly and polite. However, politeness alone is no guarantee of political support. You need to make a stronger connection. I never visited this sector before. Are there any sites you would recommend? Please don't do that. What? No one and nothing in the sector is equipped to entertain an imperial entourage. It's very kind of you to visit, but you'll be putting a strain on us if you stay. I don't know how this is going to help. Is that it's trying to say that I will be no trouble, I guess? Kinda curious what this does, but let's see. Take this one. You don't have to worry, the Heavenly Palace is perfectly capable of providing for all of my needs while I am in this sector. It won't be a problem. Yes, of course, I'm sorry. We are not used to being visited by anyone of such power and importance, or with such a large vessel. There's nothing here to draw them. I really don't have any suggestions or sites or entertainment worthy of an imperial princess. Well, there certainly aren't going to be any star-studded galas out here. But as long as there are people present, there must be some culture worth exploring. On the other hand, she's obviously trying to discourage you. Is that just modesty or fear that you will look down on her constituents? I think this is still ultimately good. I'm traveling out to learn more about my empire and get to know the people in it. It would be interesting in just spending some time among ordinary people, seeing what life is like on Poise. Things like that. Imperial Highness, please consider the security concerns and the disruptions to everyone's schedules. It would be extremely inconvenient. I guess he doesn't like it. Rejection sounds polite, but underneath that, she is seriously displeased by your suggestion. Did it sound condescending? Alright then, never mind. I look forward to speaking with you in more detail privately later. Oh, that was fail, I guess. Smiles and bows to you, then moves away. No surprise. Negative. 2 down, 1 to go. A voice croaks from behind you. Excuse me, Sir, Madam, Majesty. Someone attempting to address you. You are certainly neither Majesty nor a Sir. Even Madam is incorrect. If a more understandable mistake. Whoever is speaking ought to have the courtesy to appear in front of you and address you as your Imperial Highness, or at least your Highness. Not call out to you like a child straying in a market, though one of them was a child. Hello there. Oh, let me hydrate you while at it. This game is pretty difficult. You need a lot of knowledge, so it might be impossible to actually win the first game. No idea how well I'll remember all these things after the holidays, but maybe I'll remember something. I think the build is kinda okay, but a little too all in. Anyway, it would be undignified for you to respond to such a clumsy approach. You deserve more respect. You could just ignore the speaker until they get it right. There's certainly no one else here who could possibly be titled Majesty, though. Would it reflect badly on you to fail to reply? Answer politely, why not? Turn and offer a graceful smile to the person that called out to you. 2 people actually. It's a pair of heroes. Their heads nodding in counterpoint as they look at you. This must be the regents of Pane Stewie. Welcome to the Heavenly Palace. I'm Princess Zorana, and it is a pleasure to meet you. Yes, Princess, thank you. I am called Rope of Ice in your language. This is my mate, Starlight Needle. In unison they bow to you. Considering the awkward movements earlier, you are surprised that their bows are so fluid. I think the bird people just struggle with addressing others. I apologize, please, we don't know how to do this. We have never had visitors like you before. We have never had training. We don't know how people of your kind behave. They are implying that you are some kind of exotic savage to them because you're merchant. No, they are just different kinda people that they don't know. My mate and I have never attended a society reception before. Have no experience with political ethics. We weren't raised, we weren't born, we make mistakes. It's not because you're merchant, it's because you're noble and they are not. They are terrified. They are the regents and guardians of the official elector. Normally that opportunity would fall to whoever had the most power to seize it. But in this sector, where the term society must be stretched to exist at all, perhaps not. Perhaps these 2 were the child's favorite teachers and nothing more. I'm sure you'll find like it could be like a little dismissive too. And this might like terrify them too. But this could be friendly too, I guess. It's kinda hard to tell. Like this is friendly ultimately too. Let's do this, I guess. I have no idea. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be fine. It's a party, relax, have fun. It's well around, trying to encourage them to loosen up in exchange. They just stare at you. Sorry that the young elector, Flashes of Waves, was not able to attend tonight. Hope everything is well. It is still very young. It wouldn't enjoy the travel, and it might have been loud disruptive. The hair brings out a palm hollow, show you an image of the child, its beak crooked open in frozen water. It looks like, just like scintillation when it was young, doesn't it? The couple clucks fondly at each other. Scintillation, the previous elector, died unmarried. No second parent for Flashes of Waves was mentioned in the record overview. Is the clone child? That wasn't marked either. Really, this information should have been noted for you, even in the basic introductory biography. We haven't gotten really biographies, or maybe we have, but I just haven't been reading them. Like there is the codex, right? I guess I don't really have an entry. I don't even remember what name was, but it was surely something long. Something of something kind of name. Well. You can't imagine the records being so sloppy for any Tarkan, for example. An Empress needs to be informed of names and connections when introduced to people. But with Herotu being so remote and the child's foster parent is being settled outside of the political system, whoever prepared the briefing cards must not have considered the details important enough to pursue. It's unlikely that any prestigious fertility clinic would be built in this sector. There simply wouldn't be enough customers able to afford the best techniques. Of course, scintillation could easily have traveled to Hero Prime for such a procedure. And where officially regulated opinions are unavailable, people have been known to improvise. I don't know. I think it's kinda rude to do this. Like kids probably think that they are the parents. Like they were fond of the picture after all. So like implying that, well, you aren't like the actual parents. It sounds bad. But it doesn't like the text doesn't exactly say it. Like it could be like, are you its parents? I think this is safer, probably. It might be a delicate subject, You don't strictly need to know right now. Yeah, there's that too, like if it's not written down, like maybe there's a reason. Please enjoy the evening. I look forward to the opportunity to talk to you more in private at a later time. Yes, thank you, thank you. One takes the other's hand and they drift away. Neutral. I don't know, like if there's any way to change that really. Okay, let's see. How, like just half an hour or so? Or maybe a little bit. Like 15 minutes or something, but then I think I'll need to go do preparations for, well, taking the trip to the middle of nowhere tomorrow. I'll be away for a week or so. You strap on a helmet and elbow pads and go out to bounce off the walls. I've never done this one before. Stay put, I guess. Heart of Ice. Oh yeah, this is the event. It is an epic tragedy telling the tale of two lovers, a American woman and a mirror man. They wish to marry, but the jealous Mao which comes between them. She sacrifices all of her power to banish the woman in the spirit realm as long as the man's heart remembers her. I don't know, sounds like harmful stereotypes right off the bat. You don't really care about all of the plot details, but by the end everyone has died of despair and been frozen for all eternity. Operas are like that. Do you wish to make a speech before the performance? Praise the Empire, I guess. Could you also do this, but well, the dad is dead anyway. The opera is a little bit yikes sounding. Let's just praise the Empire. You have an election to win. You have to take whatever opportunities you can to look deserving of the honor. We stand here in the Heavenly Palace, heart of the Celestial Empire, to celebrate one of our many great art forms, the opera. Here we celebrate our history, our civilization, our education, our refinement. The Empire is like a living thing, always growing, always changing, but it is held together by the backbone of tradition. We honor the past even as we reach for the future. We sit down to the sound of polite approval. The performance is lavish, the musicians skilled, but it does go on for quite a long time. You are careful to keep your back straight and maintain an expression of interest regardless of how you actually feel. After this, you'll have the Jubilee to prepare for on turn 28. Oh yeah, alright, that is a separate thing, I guess. Alright, off to learn chains, I guess. This might be a total waste, but I want to see how it works. I guess we'll see it next time. 30 isn't enough. It will surely need to be 50 at the very least. Like none of them parts little liked us, so this might be difficult. Yep, negative. And these are neutral. Well, let's save, I guess. It is proposed engagement, but she hates us. It would be interesting to like the style more so than these aliens. Let's try to jump and flatter these. The problem is that they hold the recently enjoined. It would be inappropriate to approach either of them without the other. But how can you flirt with both of them at the same time? The safest course appears to be to do nothing overt, say nothing inappropriate. Instead, polish yourself into such a jewel that no individual could possibly fail to admire you. Indeed, both regions watch you with covetous fascination as you turn to display your sparkling profile, but this only increases the rate of awkward stuttering. They cannot relax in the company of beautiful imperial princess. Nope. Okay, so actually you can't do this if you have menace. I hope that we will see each other again if I am named Empress. Yes, Empress, yes, no. No. You could not come here, not as Empress. Busy, we are not worthy. Rope of eyes looks frantically back and forth between you and his spouse. The feats. We will watch the feats. The coronation will be very beautiful. Yes, we'll watch you with our children. Beautiful. They are so nervous and confused that it's hard to tell whether they are dazzled by your intentions or just want you to go away. Well, didn't help, I guess. I got the feeling that it will not work on any of these, but we can just try it on everybody. See if it works. Gdar. Okay, even expert fails. Wasting your time, you realize. You're a princess and you're aesthetically pleasing. I don't care, twinkly ornaments don't make my life any better. I guess he hates us. Well, let's try and her too, but I got the feeling that... Well, it could also be that the plant lizards just don't care about that kind of things. They're all business. I could offer a cabinet position then. How about Chapadak? I like the laws. They're very sweet, but there's not much point to the game of hearts when we both know you won't be back in this sector after the election. Surely you're familiar with fan mail. Distance hasn't stopped her before maintaining an interest. I may have written some enthusiastic letters in the past, but they were never answered. Really? You never got anything back? That's a slick print for my wall account. It wasn't signed. So, if I sent you a picture of myself, I promise an autograph as well. But I expect high praise in your letter, maybe even a poem. Idols and empresses receive so much admiration, you'd hardly take notice of mine. Oh, I think I would. It's always refreshing to hear kind word from afar, don't you think? She smiles and shakes her head. You do have very sparkly eyes. She may not be romantically interested in you, but she does seem to appreciate the attention. Well, doesn't work on any of them, I guess. I guess that is a load game then. Wasting 3 interactions for nothing. It's not exactly what we want. Like there is a cabinet position thing. Engagement would be interesting, but I don't think it will work. I guess we could just do like negotiation, see if it leads anywhere. If not, then we know next time at least. Ta-da. Why in the name of the dead gods do you think I do that? Some people like to make their loyalties known, tip the odds for the undecided. Others seek assurances, deals, requests, challenges. Things they'd like me to do for them to prove that I'm the person who should be empress. Let me stop you there. You're only in the running because of who your father was. You and I both know you're not qualified for this position. You weren't trained for it. You were raised to be a doll and be given away as a pride for a political alliance, and you never minded. You had no ambition. That's not completely fair. You were always involved in politics. You had to be. Even a pride has an important part to play. Now you're fighting for your future. Maybe you'll learn. Maybe you'll turn out to be a decent ruler. Maybe with hindsight it will turn out that you were the best candidate available, but we don't have that right now. Right now, what I see is an adolescent out of her depth. Your father's dead, your brother's a traitor. You had done nothing to make you worthy of being empress. And that's just rude. What can I do to prove myself to you? Probably nothing. Do something with your life, earn a degree, build a business, form an alliance, survive. Build an alliance. Isn't that what you have been doing by gathering votes? Or does it mean something more formal? An engagement, perhaps. Everything you do, people will judge. That's how it should be. Win or lose on your own merits. When the election happens, we'll see. Now get back to work. It seems there's no easy shortcut to winning her loyalty. Nope, seems impossible. Well, we'll try the others too. But like if all of these are impossible, then winning the game is probably impossible too. Elections, not for a while. I don't want to wear anyone's badge at this point. Is there anything I can offer you that would make you change your mind? Offer me like what? Oh, you know, I could undergo a trial to prove my worthiness. Seek the favor of the gods. Bring you rare dragon flagged merchandise. Take your spouse out dancing. Whatever would help you to determine if our interests are aligned so that you could be convinced I am the best choice to become empress. You know, There's something I've always wanted to do. I want to fire a spaceship's pulse lasers. You want to go blast space dust in the rings of Panay? No, too dangerous. Might set off a cascade and hit a moon, especially since I'm not, trained at all. I want to blow up something big, but you'll have to teach me how. That gives you some idea at least. Okay, so we need, I guess, piloting or something. Having a blast. Oh, that's a blast, I guess. Interesting. How about this? But election is not now. The voting happens at the election, doesn't it? These two don't understand anything about politics. If you don't speak plainly, you could be here all night. That's when the votes are counted. You can agree to assign your vote ahead of time. Why would we do that? So, if you have made up your mind already that making a formal pledge of loyalty means that the other factions will stop calling on you. All of this is when you have the chance to talk to me personally and privately in order to negotiate. So electors ask for what they want in exchange for giving you the votes. That is the pledge. But what if you don't win? What happens to the promise then? But that's why people generally ask for something I can do right now, rather than something only the Empress can do. A gift maybe, a favor, some action to show my intentions, a challenge to prove my strength, or show the favor of the gods. Is there something that you want? Something that would make it clear to you that I am the best choice to be Empress? You look at each other. Give us a split. It cuts the connection. You wait impatiently. After a while, the couple reconnects. Can you retrieve classified data? What? Information from restricted imperial databases. Can you get data without raising alarms or leaving a trail or telling anyone about it? Intrigue. Secretly accessing classified information. That could have imperial security implications. Not for you, you're the imperial princess, the designated heir. You are entitled to anything you can lay your hands on. You won't be in any trouble. But what do a pair of electors, who should already have fairly high level access, need with truly top secret information? Of course, these two have no political experience. It's possible that they don't realize how much access they have available already. If so, you could play it up like an enormous favor just to give them things they could have gotten on their own. What sort of data? Developments in ultra-low gravity environments. What sorts of developments? Zero-G hydroponics, effects of gravity on chemical reactions, and gravity generators. Can you be more specific? No. Anything you can find. But it has to stay quiet if you want your vote. Find out whatever you can and bring it to us. They close the connection. Well, they have told you the price. But is this a good idea? But this seems the most doable though. If I can really get anything basically because I'm the Empress. Well, to be Empress hopefully. Classified material. It It seems tricky though. Like probably, save first. Probably need to like do some kind of like note taking and like what you need for the build to succeed. Like sure, I'm still in the lead, but a lot of the votes seem just plain impossible. Oh, it's interesting nevertheless. Like this person was like suggesting like make an alliance, like if it's a marriage or something, but surely that won't work. At least like, well, I would like to marry somebody who is a little more positive. Well, I guess we'll call it a day here. I need to be off to do preparations and stuff. It was fun. Too bad I'll be off for a week, can't stream, but I'll try to relax and be energetic when I'm back. And thank you for watching. It was fun. See you, yeah. Probably not next week, but after that. Not sure yet what the schedule is, but well, either way, thank you for watching. Bye bye.